Fun to look back. I'm Mary Sladney here. Mary, you spoke to one of the researchers from Massachusetts who played a critical role in all of this.
You forget that these people were from here.
Woods Hole, right?
Yeah, in France. You know, it was an international team,
Sure.
but a lot of them were from here. There is a team of scientists that are based in Woods Hole on the Cape who are considered among the best ocean scientists in the world. And yes, they helped find the Titanic.
Holy smokes, look at that.
The discovery of the wreckage of the Titanic launched countless books and documentaries, traveling exhibits showcasing artifacts from the doomed luxury liner, and of course, a blockbuster movie. But imagine if you had been there when that wreckage was discovered.
That was super exciting. The first time we flew over flew as it is, over the wreck itself, and we could actually see the ship and it was totally recognizable.
Dr. Dana Yerger, seen here in the center, was part of an international team led by the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, former Navy officer Robert Ballard, and French oceanographer Jean-Louis Michel. They made the discovery with the help of an experimental unmanned submersible called the Argo. Dr. Yerger says the crew knew it was the Titanic when they spotted one of the ship's huge, distinctive-looking boilers.
The boiler! Like a boiler! Yes. Fantastic!
But it would be a day later that they would truly comprehend the impact of their expedition.
I asked a friend of mine who was a National Geographic photographer a question, and I knew that he'd been speaking with his management back home over the radio, because that was the only way you could communicate from the ship back then. No internet, of course. I said, his name was Emery Christoph. I said, "So Emery, did we make the papers?" And he looked at me and he said, "Try the front page of every newspaper in the world."
Dr. Yerger has spent the past 40 years developing cutting-edge robotics to explore the ocean floor, but he knows it's his Titanic connection that helps open doors and minds.
When I give my standard talk of what I've done, it's one slide, okay? But it's the one that everybody reacts to most strongly.
That's all anybody wants to talk about is when you were there and you saw the Titanic for the first time. Now, Dr. Yerger was 30 years old when he helped discover the Titanic. It was only his second expedition at the time. He has since completed nearly 100 missions at sea, and he is not done yet. He's not retiring yet. He just has a passion for that, and nobody wants him to go.
No. Well, amazing to hear. The boiler.
Oh, I know
right?
the boiler.
Yeah.
And listen,
story.
if Titanic is number 2 in your career, where do you go from there? I mean,
well, he's so much that he learned from everyone that he was with on that team. He continues to teach others today.
Yeah.
But he said, the funniest thing is that when they discovered it was it, they all ran and got on their official uniforms because they knew there'd be pictures and video.
in every newspaper around the world. Thanks, Mary.
Thank you.